My name is Jenny. I'm recovering from bulimia. I've been struggling with it for the better part of about 16 years. I've just last year come the far side of the befriending program with ABC, and I can honestly say for the first time in well over a decade that I am recovering from my eating disorder. I developed bulimia, I think around about the age of 14 or 15. It happened primarily because I have a lot of problems with my ears. Got the hearing aid in today. What happens is pressure tends to sort of build up and I get these incredible headaches, which I worked out at one point I could relieve by throwing up. So my eating disorder didn't start with body awareness in the same way that it happened with a lot of young people. So when I tell people I'm bulimic, they tend to think, oh, you must be very self-conscious about how you look and how you dress and how you feel about it. So no, absolutely not. Eating disorders can strike in so many different ways, and mine sort of came about in a very strange way in that I discovered I can have a control over my body that I never had before. So I think I was about 14 or 15 when I started purging, and it was really just to relieve pain that I should have dealt with in other ways. For a very long time I didn't even look for professional help because I didn't understand what I was doing. Like I say, my bulimia started because pain would build up and up and up until I purged, and then I felt better. And then I thought, oh, I can preempt the pain, I can eat so that I can throw up. I've got this control over it. I can decide when I feel better. So I didn't look for help because I didn't think it was something I needed help with. I thought I was helping myself because I was rushed with endorphins and feeling better, and I didn't see it as a problem, and I didn't ask for help, particularly because it was happening at a time where my GP was my mother, and she was quite ill at the time as well. And rather than make her concerned about the fact that I was in pain and fixing it myself, and then I was in pain and fixing it myself, I just didn't tell her. It was my secret, and I got on with things, and I didn't want to worry her at a time when she was ill herself with cancer. So I thought I had found a trick where I was making myself better at a time when she was getting worse. And really what was happening is both of us were just getting worse and worse and worse, but neither of us really understood what the other person was going through. So no, it never crossed my mind to seek professional help. When I applied to the befriending program, I had a journal, and in my journal I wrote down everything that happened today, everything that almost triggered me, everything that, basically everything. And at the end of every page for every day, I wrote, it has been however many days since I last purged. And there were some times when I would say, yay, it's been 30 days since I last purged. The next page, I purged today. Oh, damn. It's been 1 day since I purged. And having that journal was incredible in that I gave myself context for what I was doing. But having my befriender on the phone say, well done on 1 day, in the same way that she said, well done on 100 days. It didn't matter how many days it was very much a case of well done on today. I started my recovery with a journal. I was on the page that said it has been 28 days since I last purged. I have a day counter on my phone. It is 590 days since I last purged. So I think it's going okay so far. I don't say I am a recovered bulimic individual. I am an individual with bulimia. I still am. I still want to purge. Don't get me wrong, if I'm having a really bad day, I'm thinking, oh man, I could eat an entire cake. This is the worst day. I want to purge. I feel bad. I still have the urge to go back to it. It's knowing that I don't have to anymore. So I feel like my recovery is going pretty well. But I am aware that I'm still recovering. But I wouldn't be at this point without befriending. What it's meant to me, having a befriender, it means that my recovery has had direction, because keeping in mind that I've been struggling with bulimia for the better part of 15, 16 years, I all of a sudden had someone say, okay, you've tried before and it's not worked. Why hasn't it worked? And then that person, elaborating on every point where I've said I've struggled because X, Y, Z, she said, have you considered this method, this technique? Have you done this? Have you done that? And it's never been in an accusing way, because I know that she's gone through the same. It's never, oh, suck it up, you can do it this way. It's very much someone else telling me what she's been through and what's worked for her, and just different techniques, down to using the Recovery Star, the different forms of therapy where you work point by point, and it's not one big goal to be recovered. It's very much a case of you set yourself smaller goals along the way. So you're not focused on being 100% better, you're focused on getting better, because every day that you do something new that makes it better for you during your recovery, that's an achievement. It's not one big achievement at the end. It's a series of achievements along the way, and using the Recovery Star method that Befrienders do, it's been fantastic having goals, having achievements, looking back on it and going, yeah, I've done loads. At the end of, 500 plus days, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm almost there now. I'm very much thinking, I've done so much, this is fantastic. And I have that because of befriending. And because of the different methods employed. Just being able to get on the phone once a week to my befriender and thinking to myself, oh, I've had such a bad week, I don't feel like I've done a lot, I don't feel like I've achieved anything. And then I've got what feels like a quick chat with a good friend, and by the end of it I think to myself, this is fantastic, I have done something. And she reminds me that it's not one big goal. It's little and often, and that's the point of recovery. So what it means having a befriender is having someone that can put everything into context at the end of the day, not at the end of the week or the month or the year. What it means having a befriender, as opposed to just having a counselor, it means that you have someone on your side because they've been on that side, they've been through it, and they understand the things that you're struggling with and why you're struggling. When you've got people supporting you, people that love you and they want to help, there's a difference between wanting to help and being able to help. And that's a very hard truth for a lot of people. Because when you love someone, you want them to be well. And what a befriender does is it allows you once a week to talk to someone that can reinforce that you can help yourself, you can do it. The help is there, you just need to try, you just need to go for it. Your support group is there, you are loved, you are able, and if you're willing, your befriender is going to help you get there. It's probably really hit home for me when I had a panic attack about an enchilada. That sounds ridiculous when I say it now, and if I said it to anyone who doesn't have an eating disorder, they will say, oh, it's serious for you. Okay, yeah, I'm listening. This is a serious story about an enchilada. A lot of people don't appreciate that what was happening at the time was I was challenging myself with a new food, a new texture, a new flavor. I was feeling good enough and confident enough in myself to just go try something that I knew was quite triggering for me. So when I said to friends like, I ate an enchilada, they were like, great, well done. Okay, well done, yay, they appreciate, that's a big deal for me. When I got to my phone call at the end of the week, my phone rang, I pick it up, she says, hi Jenny, and I was like, hi Emma, I ate an enchilada this week. And she's like, oh, and how were you? And it's like, well, I had a panic attack. She's like, oh no, but I kept it down. It's like, wow, and I had this whole back and forth with someone about eating an enchilada. You can't do that with someone that doesn't appreciate that that was a big deal. There are a lot of your friends who will be thrilled for you if you tell them it's a big deal. But being able to get on the phone to someone and having something so specific to you that you think, God, I'm weird and I can't talk to people about this. And then having someone pick up the phone and go, you're spot on, you're on track, you're doing great, well done. That makes all the difference in your recovery. Knowing not only that you're not alone, but that you never will be. There are other people that have done it and that will do it, and they're there for you as well. I think with the Recovery Star method used by the Befrienders, it's really helpful because if you haven't really tried and gone and looked for help in your recovery before, you're going to think to yourself, okay, I am or I amn't bulimic. You might advance to thinking on a scale of 1 to 10, how bulimic am I? That's not how eating disorders work. And when you want to recover, there are so many different steps to it, and the Recovery Star helps you in that it will take focus on social aspects, professional aspects, health aspects of your whole life. And it will ask you, how do you feel about these different parts of your life at the beginning of your recovery? And then throughout the befriending process, you will be asked again, how do you feel now about this part of your life and that part of your life? I never appreciated how much I lied while having bulimia, just in that it's a secret. I had to keep it. It was mine. It was gross. I didn't want to make other people uncomfortable. So I got very good at lying. And I didn't realize how insidious it was and how much of the rest of my life it affected. To the extent now that, being somewhat recovered from bulimia, I have a better relationship with my sister. I have a job I love. I'm in the best relationship I have ever been with. I brought her today for moral support. And my life is fantastic right now. And a lot of it is because I've had to look at my life in incredible detail, because my eating disorder was throughout the whole damn thing. I didn't appreciate how much of myself I was giving up to gain this tiny sense of control that I got from my eating disorder. And the Recovery Star helped me to put that into perspective. And my befriender helped to remind me that no, you're not failing because you're bulimic. You're not failing because you can't, switch it off. You're not failing because you've lied in the past. You're doing amazingly now because you're trying. We have this point and this point and this point to cover, and well done. And your befriender is there to help you work through the Recovery Star method. It's a fantastic reminder at the end of every week that someone knows you're doing your damnedest.